What's up, guys? I'm glad you're here. My name is Drake, and you're listening to the Double Click Podcast by Holy Hill Media.
So we both went to work for this company as salespeople. And obviously, I was a more experienced salesperson. He had just got into the industry. And
This is Charbel.
Yeah. And they actually put us together one day for me to train him. And we just clicked. From day one, we clicked, and everything happened instantly. The sales came instantly. We just vibed together. So after that first day, we just took it upon ourselves, regardless of what the manager told us to do. We just hooked up together and went and worked together. And then they put him in charge of Raleigh. They told him, go to Raleigh, open up an office for us. So he went to Raleigh, and he called me. He goes, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And he just got in the business.
Yeah.
And I said...
and how old was he at the time?
He was 23, 24.
Oh, young.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, had no clue what he was doing. So I said, I'll come up there and help you. So I went up there, and we built that guy an office up there, and we started it in a hotel parking lot.
Wow.
No trucks, no signs, no business cards, no hat, no office, no nothing. Put an ad in on Deed and started interviewing the hotel parking lot, taking people out, showing them how to knock doors and sell roofs. And but we built a $250,000 a month office in 4 months. And we did that with the pretense that we would be rewarded once we did the job. And 4 or 5 months later, we sat down with the owner and said, all right, job's done. What's the reward?
Right.
And there was no reward.
Dang.
And that was at Christmas time.
No.
Yeah.
And how long had you been at the company at that time?
I had been with the company for a year and a half. I'd been in the industry for years.
Okay.
But I'd been with that company a year and a half. And I had a 6-month-old baby. And I just, I dedicated, went up and stayed in a hotel in Raleigh away from my brand new baby to put this together, thinking the reward was coming, and then no reward. And so that's when me and Charbel had a conversation. I said, look, I've been doing this for a decade, and I've worked for 2 or 3 outfits. And at the end of the day, it all winds up the same place. Screwed out of money, screwed out of opportunity. They get greedy, and they got nothing for you. So he said, I'm ready to go on my own. I said, me too. And I had no money. He had a little bit of money. We put $100 in the bank, and we went and started knocking doors, and that's how we started the company.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. So backtrack, the business before Choufani and Bailey was where y'all met.
Yeah.
You had been doing this for 10 years. You'd been there closer to 2 years.
Yep.
You build something and recognize, like, if I'm going to build something, I might as well build it for myself.
That's what it wound up being.
Wow.
I said, I'm tired of doing it for everybody else.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
And me and him, like I said, the vibe was there. I had no desire to really start my own business by myself with everything on my shoulders for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And, being there was 30-year age difference, it was like a yin and yang thing.
Yeah.
And it worked from day one. And to this day, me and Charbel have never had a disagreement in business.
Wow.
We've clicked with everything.
Let's talk about that, because that's not normal.
No, it's not at all.
I mean, my business mentor always tells me, every time you want to partner with somebody, make sure it's somebody you're willing to marry.
Our own attorneys, in the beginning, when we formed the LLC, they said, no, we need to have an operating agreement for when the split up happens.
Oh, anticipated the breakup.
Yeah, and what are y'all going to do if y'all disagree? He said, I'm not really concerned with that. And that was in the beginning. He said, no one's concerned about it at this point, but the marriage is going to get old.
Wow.
And the newness is going to wear off. And then, this could happen. So we need to put protections in place. We never put those protections in place.
Wow.
So we don't need it.
Wow.
And to this day, we still don't need it.
What do you think that is? Because obviously it's like a natural connection. Like you said, you kind of just click. Is there just an inherent trust?
I'm not a religious person. God put this together. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
I love it. Come on, God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. So you think that when you guys came together, let me ask you this. Was the seed of starting your own thing already there? Had you considered it before, and then meeting Charbel, was that kind of like the boom, there's the green light, this actually makes sense because I know I can rely on him to do what he needs to do, and he can rely on me for my experience.
Yes. And I can't explain what that it factor was.
Yeah.
But there was an it factor from day one when we met. And it just made it was a calmness to it. It wasn't a nervous opportunity. It wasn't something to be to shy away from. It was something that we just knew, like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And there was zero doubt. Zero doubt we were going to be successful from day one. We started with $100 the first year. I think we finished with 1.5 million.
First year?
First year.
Come on.
Second year, we finished with 5.7 million. Third year, 7 million.
Come on.
And then we just sold a portion of the company to a private equity group.
Congratulations.
At the end of June.
That's amazing.
We just closed on it. Yeah.
Congratulations,
So,
man.
it's been a great road, man.
So let's break into really quick, just for the listeners and the viewers. Choufani and Bailey, what do you guys, obviously it's roofing and restoration. What do you specialize in, and what are you better at than anybody else around here? Because there's a lot of people doing what you do around
Insurance
here.
restoration.
Okay, right.
So
There you go.
all roofing companies put roofs on.
Yep.
And we do flat roofs, commercial roofs, metal roofs, whatever. But we specialize in insurance restoration work.
Gotcha.
So we specialize in working with these insurance companies to replace homeowners' roofs back to pre-loss condition. And we understand the fight. It's not an easy process, If it was a matter of just inspecting the roof, them coming out and approving the roof and putting the roof on, everybody'd do it.
That's true.
But what happens when they deny the roof?
Right.
You got to understand the process of overcoming that denial and fighting that insurance company and knowing how to fight that insurance company and having the back end to fight that insurance company to get a favorable outcome for the homeowner.
What's the back end?
Just the supplementing process and the back and forth with the insurance adjusters, the desk adjusters.
Got you.
That want to deny everything.
Yeah.
They want to say, no, we're not replacing it. Fix those 3 repair shingles and move on. How do you overcome that? These are billion-dollar companies that are saying no to you.
Right.
And if you don't understand the process and what you can legally fight for and how to fight for it, they squash you.
So it's knowing how to go to bat for your clients.
100%.
Because you know the system, you know the game.
Yes. And having the personnel and the expertise in the background that knows how to fight that fight.
Right. The experience.
Yeah. So, and we're good at it. We're very good at it.
So part of what you do and makes you guys special is, quite frankly, you do go to bat for your clients more than anybody else. Because I can call you any day for a roof, and guess what? It's going to be comparing bids.
That's right.
Do I like you? Do I not? And
That's
what's
it.
the bid, right?
That's it.
But you're going to bat for your clients in a different way than most of them are doing around you.
Yes. And I can't count the number of people that we run into out there that say, hey, I started the claims process with this XYZ company and we got denied and the company just disappeared on me. I can't get a hold of them. They don't know what to do. And then we say, well, let's see your paperwork. And we take that claim over and we take over the process and we get it approved for them. Sometimes there's times it takes over a year of fighting back and forth with the insurance company to get that approval.
Wow.
But we fight to the end. As long as the homeowner's willing to fight and they're behind us and they want this to move forward, we're going to keep fighting.
And I imagine being able to fight for somebody when everybody else is ignoring you. As a customer, when everybody's ignoring you, nobody's picking up your calls, having somebody in your corner makes a big difference. So I bet the referral system's probably crazy. You probably get a lot of referrals then.
75% referrals.
Wow.
Our business is 75% referrals, yes. That drives our business. Same thing with the reviews online. None of them are fake. They're all real customers. They're all real
That's a thing.
And
That's a thing.
yeah. And if you read those, you'll see a pattern where they talk about how we let them through this process, and they just sat back in the easy chair and let us work for them.
My goodness.
And I love it. It's a good feeling when you get to win and they get to win.
100%.
That's a great feeling. It's a
100%.
feel-good business.
Especially in the industry where, look, contractors on the BBB, it's a murder scene. I've said it before. It's bad
It's real
because
bad,
people build something not to warranty, even though they're selling the warranty.
Yes.
Or they're just not showing up for the people, or they're leaving the property a mess and leave, whatever the case might be.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So to be able to have integrity and be able to show up for these people, it
Your
separates you
your
like a
name,
head.
your reputation, and is everything.
Yeah.
And it can kill you or it can make you great.
Yeah, 100%.
And fortunately, it's made us great.
Let's talk about you, man. You have a lot of experience in this industry. Mm-hmm. How did you get into this industry? And what were the earliest days like getting in, even before this business?
So I got a background in sales my whole life. From the time I was a teenager, all I've ever done is sales. And I don't want to go deep dive into my past, but had a rough past. And I found myself homeless at 50 years old at the Salvation Army Homeless Center in Oklahoma City, down and out, addicted, the whole 9 yards. And I said, I got to do something different. And my answer was, I got to go somewhere I've never been. I got to get away from everybody I've ever known. I got to do something I've never done and start life over.
The rebirth.
At 50 years old.
Wow.
And I had a buddy of mine that I had connection with from several years earlier that had gotten in the roofing industry down here at Carolina Beach. And he said, man, come get in the roofing business. It's great. And I packed up my stuff and I came out here for 30 days just to check it out and fell in love with the place and fell in love with the industry, and the rest is history.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We gotta open that story up a little bit, man. We don't have to go too far into the past, but I want to know, man, you hit a place when you're 50 where you're like, listen, this road has an end to it, and it ain't one I like. You wanted to create another path for yourself, right? You got a family, but now you look at this situation and you kind of look back. What was it that like really clicked for you? Like, hey, look, man, the rebirth. You really did have a rebirth. What was it?
My kids.
Kids? Okay.
So I had 2 older or younger children at that time, but they were in foster care while I was addicted and I went homeless. And the judge said, the next month I see you, if I don't see a different James Bailey, you're losing your kids forever. And I said, but then I got to change.
Wow.
And God let me change.
Come on. Amen, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I came out here, and a year and a half later, I got full custody of my kids out of the foster care system. They're doing beautiful. My daughter just graduated last year. My son's going in 9th grade.
Praise
I'm
God.
married. I got 2 new children. I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And
you're busy.
Great business. Yeah, I love life. So
I love it.
literally life turned around.
Yeah.
By just a mindset that I gotta do different, and I gotta go do something different. And thank God for the roofing industry. It's a great industry.
Yeah.
You know? There's a lot of bad people in this, like everything else, but it was a good avenue for me to just do something different, and then to offer, the kids that work for us. Every one of them, it's changed their life. They're all buying homes and they've got nice lives, all based on this little company that we put together.
That's got to feel good.
It feels better than anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's this thing about you, man, that I'm noticing just based on, the few, the bit of conversation we've had. When you're telling me that you, first of all, not everybody can pick up and change everything. When you're
50.
At 50, your reason was big enough, though. Your reason was big enough.
Yeah.
What piece of that do you feel like has transcended into the success of this business with you and Charbel now? Because it sounds like you developed a characteristic or a skill or even a passion that kind of just carried you into the success here. Because that's a night and day story, man.
It is. And a lot of that has to just do with personal choices and, deciding to go a different path in life, period.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing. It can be the roofing business. It could be any industry. But if you're focused on the right things in life and you go to work every day and you put the effort in and you thank God, everything changes.
Come on, man.
Everything.
Man, I know you said earlier that you're not a religious guy, man, but I hear it all over you, man.
And I can't deny it.
You can't deny it, man. And I can see God's grace all over your life, man. Speaking of great, man, there was a quote that when I first communicated with you that stood out to me.
There are no great men, only ordinary men with extraordinary amounts of determination.
Talk to me about that, because, man, that's a punch. I love that.
So in high school, that was a quote in my high school football days. We had Hell Week, and
Hell Week.
We had to remember a quote of every day during that week. And then, when you're in adversity situations, the coach would say, "What's the quote of the day?" And you had to remember. And that was one of the ones that stuck in my head for the last 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why does that one stick with you so much?
Because it's true. There are no great men. Trump, or Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. These aren't great men. They just had extraordinary amounts of determination to do something. And that's what got me here. I'm no greater now than I was at 49 years old or 50 years old. I just had more determination this time.
Yeah. And what you said a second ago was the choices you made. Determination really comes back to making consistent choices that are aligned with the vision that you have for your life until you see the fruit, and not stopping until you see the fruit.
Yeah, and anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You just got to decide you got to focus on it, and then get up every day and just work for that cause.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's been a great last 8 years.
Well, look at this business now, man. It's incredible. I mean, the name's well known. You're good at what you do. I mean, just a little bit of research online can tell somebody that. But let me ask you this, man. What is your guys' vision for the company?
Growth. Right now, that's what we're focused on. Is we just opened a branch in Raleigh.
Okay.
And the focus now is to build that remote location. and then to replicate that into different markets and expand and offer more opportunity for the people that do work for us. You know, these young kids here that have put their time in and have been loyal and dedicated to building this brand here. You know, what's their future?
Yeah.
And if it's just Wilmington, you either you go up or you go on.
That's right.
And we just feel, you know, I guess not necessity, but we just feel like it's up to us to give back to them by allowing this brand to continue growing and become bigger than just here in us, and offer them kids a future.
Wow.
You know, I'm on my way out.
Right. Well, you got to raise up the next generation.
That's it.
I love that, man. So I love that you're actually investing into the future of your company by investing into the future people of your company.
Yep.
That to me tells a story, man, and it tells me either that's been a passion of yours or something that just kind of clicked for you. But I want to talk a little bit about that. Do you feel like you didn't have that when you were in the industry? Okay.
That's 100%. That's exactly what it is. And it's been that way from day one. Everything and every decision that we put together and positions we put together and the way we treat our employees and the way we treat our crews has been what we wish we would have had. Or mainly me, but even Charbel with the company we came from, you know, what were we missing?
Yeah.
And what, you know, what did I wish my situation was?
Yeah.
And that comes to the forefront when we make decisions. It's like, I'm going to treat them the way I wish I would have been treated.
100%.
But at the end of the day, I'm glad I was treated that way.
Yeah, it taught you something.
I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
You know, I'd still be working for somebody if they'd have treated me right.
That's true.
So I'm glad they didn't.
I love it, man. Yeah. I love it. So in those early days, man, when you guys were first getting started, this story, meeting in a hotel parking lot, getting job interviews done in the parking lot. To me, I love that story. $100 in the bank account. Getting started, I think, is something that a lot of people really struggle with because they think they need $200,000, $300,000 to get started, leverage all this money. Did you guys just bid on some jobs, get some jobs, and continue reinvesting with that cash?
Yes.
What was that like?
We started, we put $100 in, and our motto in the beginning days was the only way we fail is if we don't sell. So me and Charbel,
say that again.
The only way we fail is if we don't sell.
I love it.
Sales is, you know, you got to sell.
It's the lifeblood.
I can run the business. Got to bring the money in.
That's right.
Get the revenue. So we would meet every day and just go knock doors and open up claims and sell roofs. And we would take those beginning claims, those first few claims and first few situations, and obviously the claim situation is a drawn out process. It takes a while to get your money. You got to wait on things. So we said, we can't afford to wait. We need money now. So we just turned everything into a retail job. So in other words, retail job, if you call me and say, hey, I need you to build my roof, give me an estimate, I'm going to give you an estimate. You're going to pay me 50%. I'm going to order materials. I'm going to send the crew there. We're going to build your roof. You're going to pay me the 50%, and I'm gone.
Right. You're subbing it.
I'll make all my money in a week.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Insurance process, it's months before you get your money.
Yep.
And your profit is at the last part that comes. So we couldn't wait months to make money. So we just turned everything into a retail basis. So we flipped the cash quick, and just kept flipping, man.
Wow.
Going to work every day and turning jobs into cash.
I love it, man. That's the hustle of figuring it out, right? Because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck as well. Is like, if I don't have, they expect the money right away. But first of all, you got to get your name out there. Yeah. You guys were in the industry, but your brand wasn't. So you had to get your name out there. You had to do the jobs. You had to do the jobs well. Use that cash to reinvest to be able to sustain the business model that you want to do with the insurance claims. And now you're here.
Yeah. And in the beginning days, it was, okay, we got $500. What do? We need some business cards. We need some door magnets. We need some yard signs. So let's go get those few things and then sell some more jobs. And then we flipped that cash. And then we hired an admin person. And now we got to pay him a salary.
Right.
And so there were several weeks. We didn't pay ourselves nothing. You know, we'd run to the payroll department. It's time for payroll. And we said, don't pay me and Charbel. Pay them. Don't pay us.
Bills are due.
And you know, people see the success and that, man, you guys are doing great. I wish I was in y'all's shoes. They didn't see that part. You know, they didn't see that part. Those days when you're like, oh, man, we gotta pay these people that work for us. You know, we can't pay ourselves.
Yeah,
you know? And they didn't see the struggle part.
Yeah,
they see the success, and everybody wants the success. But what are you willing to do to get there?
Come on.
And you got to be willing. You know, that's the thing with any business. There's no business that I know of that you're just going to start and it's just going to take off naturally.
Absolutely.
You got to put the hard work in.
100%.
But if you put the hard work in, you can be rewarded.
Absolutely.
You got to do it unselfishly, though.
Yeah.
Think about the other people working for you and the people around you and the customers, and do what's right for them. There were many decisions in the early days where we could have been greedy and made different decisions because we needed the money, but we decided to, you know, do what's right for a homeowner, or do what's right for one of the salespeople or somebody that worked for us, or pay our crews a little bit better because they worked hard, than putting it in our own pocket. And taking care of people who got us here.
Right. Well, it's really hard to build a business when you don't have anybody staying with you, especially you train them up, you build them up. That's good talent, you got to keep them.
Right.
So how long was that struggle like for you guys early on? Did
Actually, wasn't
pretty
it long,
good turnaround?
man. It was, 6 months. Well, the struggle was inside of 6 months.
Wow.
The 6 month mark, we were starting to see it.
Well, you did 1.5 the first year.
Right. That's right. We started January 22nd of 22. And by that midsummer, that's when you really started seeing leaps and bounds in the bank accounts and going, man, this is starting to work.
Yeah.
And that's when we started, making a commitment to hire more people and bring on more salespeople because, everybody you bring on, now you're committed to making sure they feed their family.
Exactly.
So it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And in the early days, you got to have a lot of confidence of that you're gonna make it because you're bringing on people that are relying on you to feed their family.
Yeah.
And so about that 6 month mark is when we really started feeling comfortable. It's time to start hiring and growing.
Okay.
And, we probably did well over $1 million that last 6 months.
Wow.
Of 22.
So really started surging up that second half of the year, which makes sense. It makes sense. So when you're looking at cash coming at that point in time, like you mentioned, there's always something to buy. There's always something to reinvest into. Was that a conversation you guys had early on? Like, listen, we're going to, for a lack of better terms, eat shit for a while and then consistently reinvesting that profit to continue to grow the company. Is that still a mindset you guys carry today? Consistently reinvesting?
We set a salary for ourselves.
Okay.
Didn't matter what the company made.
Yeah.
We put it all back in.
Wow.
And we make more money now than we made 2 years ago for ourselves to grow the company and to continue growing the company.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
To outgrow that mom and pop company status to grow into a real company. You got to be willing to be unselfish and believe in your product and your brand and believe in your growth and be willing to put it in there. Knowing that the payday's coming.
It'll come.
Yeah.
It'll come.
Yeah.
So what do you guys look at now? I mean, you guys are 10x what you were when you started.
Yeah.
So what do you guys look at now for reinvesting? Is that just more, you kind of alluded to it, but more locations, more sales team? What does that look like?
More sales team and locations, and systems and processes. As you grow, those systems and processes and overhead grow exponentially with you.
Yep.
And the balance is the key factor. Your margins, as you grow and you add on the overhead and different key positions for the growth, your margins come down to, and you got to have a real tight grip on that.
Yeah.
If not, it puts you out of business.
100%.
I heard there's some stat like 95% of all roofing companies go out of business in the first 5 years.
Yep.
That's just a matter of not taking care of the bottom line.
Yeah.
You gotta manage the money.
Yeah.
You can't just make the money. And you can make a ton of it, but if you don't manage it, it can all disappear.
No matter if you don't keep any, right?
That's right.
So what I like what you just said is I don't know if unconsciously just associated your systems and operations with profit.
If you don't, you got problems.
Right. Yeah. So this systems and operations thing, let's talk about that. What were the systems that you guys started implementing early on that just kind of clean? It's maturity, right? It kind of makes your company a little bit more mature when it's a little bit more structured.
And we prided ourselves on not following anybody's system. I didn't reach out there and say, how does this company do it? How does that company do it? Obviously, in the beginning days, me and Charbel did everything. And then out of necessity and growth, what areas did I want off my plate? And so when we found a key individual that had certain skill sets, I noticed that we were good at noticing people that had different skill sets and said, hey, we gotta this area here, we need to take off our plate to free us up to continue growth. And let's give this guy opportunity. And so we created positions and moved people into key positions to oversee different processes and systems within, our company. Based out of necessity and just to free ourselves up. There was a quote or a saying, 2-week fishing trip. So if you have a business and you can't put your phone down, disappear into the mountains and go fishing for 2 weeks, come back and things are running the same as they were when you got there, you have a job, not a business.
That's good.
And I kept that in the back of our mind. And in the early days, we were working every day, and it was reliant on us showing up and us putting in the work and us overseeing everything. And how do you systematically take that stuff off your plate and put people in charge of it? And that's how we created all of our processes.
So you consistently replaced the things early on that took it off your plate, and then eventually you were replacing things that you guys did that somebody else could just do better.
Yep.
So what is your leadership
Surround
team?
yourself with smarter people than you are.
100%. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right?
That's right.
So what were those hires? Was that an operations guy? What does that look like for you guys right now?
Combination.
Okay.
A lot of operational stuff from just production mostly, and internal processes of invoicing and tracking and financing, and then production. Those are the two areas: your financial end and your production end. Those have got to be spot on.
Yeah.
And you can't have loose ends, and it's got to be tight. It's got to be fluent, and all the bases got to be covered.
Yeah.
And so those two real key positions were first and foremost: an operations manager and production manager / GM. Jake Earl filled that role for us, and we couldn't be happier. He took everything off of my plate and has done it better than I could have done it. And
Come
was
on,
more
that's a good hire then.
And a very good hire. And so, and there's been other people that have taken on responsibilities, same thing. And they've excelled in those areas. And very few decisions did we make personnel-wise backfired on us. So we were fortunate in making strategic, smart decisions when we moved people in certain areas that it worked out.
Yeah.
And that enabled us to continue that skyrocket growth.
Right.
We didn't really have setbacks.
Well, because then you're able to work on the business versus in the business, right?
100%. That's it right there.
I get you, man. So let me ask you this then: what your team? You consistently talking about taking care of your guys. They've got mouths to feed. You and Choufani, you and Charbel, early on, you guys had this relationship that was kind of unbreakable. There was a trust there.
Yeah.
There was just something that sank. There was chemistry there. Now, what do you guys? Does your team culture reflect that now? What do you do to make sure that that's with not just with you and Charbel, but with the rest of your team?
You hit the nail on the head, culture. And that has been first and foremost. With any new hires, when we bring anybody on any position, if you don't fit the culture, you're not staying.
Yeah.
And we've stuck to that. People that don't fit the culture, we get rid of them.
Is that just laziness? They don't show up on time? They don't jive with the team? All the above?
all the above,
okay,
yeah. You
okay.
can't really put a finger on it. It fits or it don't fit.
Yeah.
And, then there's been those that you almost know instantly it's not going to work. They're not fitting. And then in the end, it shows its true face and it doesn't work and you get rid of them.
Yeah.
But the crew that we have, the people that we have, the team that we've assembled, and currently, everybody's together, man.
Yeah.
And it's working.
And it's tight knit.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you guys do anything outside of work together?
A lot of things, yeah. We have team building days. We used to do it more frequent than we have, and that's something we probably ought to get back. You get busy with growth and with the business, and sometimes that takes precedence over taking that free time. And we get together and go laser tag or bowling or golf or whatever.
So doing life together.
Yeah,
I love that.
Just to get away and do things. Go on the boats and take the guys out, on boats and stuff.
Yeah.
So, we do that on a regular basis.
That's awesome, man. And I know, like, what it does is it stimulates culture, right? It brings people closer together. It gets you to see a side of the boss and the rest of the team that's like outside of work, and it's fun, man. It's just fun.
It makes it
work
fun.
hard, play hard, right?
That's it.
So let me ask you this too, man. I'm curious about this. Just based on your guys' success so fast early on, what's your competition like around here? Like, did you kind of corner a market where it wasn't really established? Anybody doing specifically what you do very well here, and you saw that opportunity, or is there competition out here and you guys are just beating them?
So I wouldn't call it necessarily beating them or not beating them. We don't compete with anybody. Compete with ourselves. As long as we focus on Choufani Bailey and the needs of Choufani Bailey and the customers of Choufani Bailey and the employees of Choufani Bailey, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
When you get wrapped up in what somebody else is doing, Whatever minute you're spending on that, you're not spending on where it needs to be.
That's good.
So we spend all our time focusing on us.
I love it.
I mean, competition's out there. It's going to be out there. There's hundreds of roofing companies. Let them do their thing. We're going to do our thing.
Yeah.
So I don't pay attention to it.
I love
It's
it.
static.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. When you guys look at this area specifically, just, Wilmington, greater Wilmington area, is this kind of where roots will always be, home base will always be?
It will be now.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be now.
Yeah.
I was transient in my life. I had a business previous for 27 years that I traveled the country. I lived in, I think, 11 different states. I've worked in 17 different states, and never the East Coast, though, all Midwest and West Coast. And when I came here, I fell in love with the beach and fell in love with Wilmington and Carolina Beach, this whole area. And it was the first time in my life that I decided this is where I want to live. Literally from the time I was 24 years old, I moved to a different city or state every year to 2 years. Never bought a house, never grew roots anywhere. And when I came here, I said, I'm never leaving. And I've been here for 8 years and just bought my first house last year.
Let's go.
My roots are here.
Come on, man.
My kids are going to grow up here and they're going to go through school here, and this is going to be their community.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. I mean, it's a great place, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to do, but it's still a small town.
It is a small town, yeah. And people talk about how much it's changed, and they want to point out the bad things. Go across the country and look at some other places.
Grass is always greener,
and then
right?
come back here and tell me what you think about this place. This is a beautiful place. And
At least it's warm, man.
And I feel safe here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, go to Chicago and tell me if you feel safe.
Oh, my goodness. You said you lived in Midwest.
I've lived all over. Yeah.
See, I'm from Midwest in Ohio.
Okay.
By Toledo, Ohio.
Okay.
What places did you live in the
So
Midwest?
Indianapolis,
Okay.
Chicago, Kansas City. I grew up in Texas, and then Colorado, California, Washington, Oregon, Idaho. I've lived in all.
Oh my
places.
goodness!
Yeah.
I lived in San Antonio too. What place in Texas?
Longview, Texas.
Where's that at?
East Texas.
East Texas?
Northeast
Okay.
Texas, up in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 hours east of Dallas. And I lived in Dallas. I've lived all over Texas.
Yeah.
I went to school out at Texas Tech, Lubbock.
Yeah. You miss Texas at all?
My roots will always be Texan.
Yeah.
And
Can't shake that.
No, and I love saying I'm from Texas.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a thing, but I have no desire to go live in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm staying here.
Yeah. I love it. I love it,
To
man.
me, this is it now.
Yeah. Well, you got something you're building too, and it's not just the
Yeah.
family; it's this business as well, man. Right?
I think the road you travel, sometimes determine where your heart is, and the road out here has been a different life than the previous 50 years.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm more in tune with this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I want my kids to live this.
Yeah.
I don't. The previous 50 years, let it be gone.
Yeah.
Forget about
It's
it.
in the rear view.
That's it.
It's in the rear view. I love it, man. Do your kids ever show interest of being involved in the business?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Do you want them to?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
if they want to.
I think any father would want their kids to follow in their footsteps or take over the family business, and maybe they will one day. But yeah, I'm not putting no pressure on them. They're young.
Yeah.
They're young. My son's 14. My daughter just turned 20, and they're still figuring out their life.
Oh yeah.
So
That's early to tell, man. I still don't understand how kids get out of high school and then they're supposed to sign up for debt and get into choose the rest of their life's career path when they're 18. I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was maybe 25, 26, and that was. I still know people twice my age that don't know what they want
I
to
was
do.
50.
Yeah, right. Come on.
Figuring out what I really want to do. Yeah.
But I do want to ask you that though. How much more, when you found out what you wanted to do, could you really dedicate yourself to it? Because I think there's a lot of people trying new careers because they're wanting to find the thing and they can't really give themselves entirely to it until they find that thing.
That's it. And I mean, it's something. You're going to know when it happens. And relax. Don't take it so serious because most of it don't matter. And when you get older, you realize that the majority of your life was just passing through. It did not matter. And when that right thing comes, you'll know it in your heart and your mind, and it'll just feel right. And it never feels like work. It feels you just wake up every day and you're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you found your niche.
Yeah. Well, I think that makes a difference because when you love what you do and you feel like you're not showing up to work every day, you're showing up to do something you love. It gives you the capacity to work hard, to go the extra mile, and not get burnt out, which is
100%.
necessary, especially with the startup.
Yeah, with any business.
With any business.
I think that, and you learn that later in life too. I don't care what you're doing. If you wake up and you dread doing it, get away from it. Go do something else.
Yeah.
You're just wasting time.
Yeah.
Every day you wake up and you don't enjoy going to that job, you're going to the wrong job.
Yeah.
You need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the quicker you figure that out, the quicker you'll get on the right path. And there's a lot of people that wasted a lot of years of their life, most of their life, on the wrong path. And because they're afraid to just jump out there and do something different, something new. You can't be afraid of life.
Yeah.
It's going to have its ups and downs, but you got to be trying to move forward.
Yeah.
So just move forward.
It's not a lot of risk when you're talking about the rest of your life and enjoying what you're doing, right? And being able to find something you're passionate about.
No.
Are you risk averse? Or you like risk?
I do not like risk.
You don't like risk, really?
I'm not a risky person. When I was younger, I risked everything.
Okay.
Didn't matter. But now, no. I like stability.
Yeah.
I like security. And that's probably a product of my childhood and my younger years. I mean, I moved every year and a half. Growing up, I was in a different house every 6 months.
Yeah.
The rent's due, got to go.
Wow.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So not a lot of stability then.
Yeah.
Right.
And so nowadays, I'm into stability and creating a future and retirement and setting my kids up for the future and not really into risking a whole lot at this point.
Yeah.
But when you're younger, you got plenty of time to risk.
Yeah.
There's so much time, and that's the thing that, these kids that are in their 20s and even 30s, even 40, and they think they're locked into whatever path they're on, and it don't take long.
Yeah.
You can start over at any age and get to where you need to get to real quick.
Yeah. So getting started with this, you didn't feel that risk though, because you said you knew it was going to succeed. Where'd that come from?
Because the only way we fail is if we don't sell.
Okay. And you know how to sell.
I've been selling since I was 13 years old.
That's fair.
There's zero doubt with that.
Yeah.
And that is the only way we fail.
Yeah.
And, if I had to hire 100 people to figure out what to do with the money, I'll hire 100 people to figure out what to do with the money. I just got to make sure I sell.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
That's so good, man. With your team specifically, how do you train the thing that you know in sales? Because you can't replicate yourself necessarily, right? I mean, you try, but...
It's no different than going to a motivational speaker. It's all about a mindset. And we teach a mindset. It's not the skills, not the words you use, it's a mindset. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in what you're doing. You got to have the right mindset when you walk out the door, when you go to work, and that's any job. If you got the right mindset and you're trying to be successful, focus on the positives and go after what you want. But it's 99% mindset and 1% work habits.
How do you think that? How do you teach that? You just teach them about the mindset, what it means, decision making, or are people kind of bred with it a little bit, and you just kind of mold them into what you need?
So I love the ones that are naturally born with it.
Yeah.
Those are your superstars.
Yeah.
The ones that have that natural gift of gab, the mindset of an entrepreneur and just a go-getter. Those are the ones you're after.
Yeah.
But that ain't the majority of people.
That's fair.
The majority of people got to be led, and to be a good leader, you got to be able to lead. Not everybody's got your skill set. Not everybody's capable of doing the things on a high level. And the world ain't built on the highest level. The world's built on the average.
Yeah.
So you teach people, you got to be good at naturally, I guess, recognizing people's skill set and their ability, and then maximizing each individual's ability. Your ability may be this level, next guy at this level. So I'm pushing him up here and I'm pushing you right here.
Yeah.
And then just trying to max out your ability. And as long as you're maxing out your ability, that's all you can ask for. Don't try to reach up here right now until you develop your skills to get there.
Right.
Focus, because else you're going to hit rejection.
Yeah.
And then that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
And too much rejection is not good. Rejection's good. You overcome it and you learn that it's nothing but a no or it's nothing but reject. But at some point, too much of it, you're setting your goal here. Just set a goal that's high, and when you obtain it, set it a little higher and develop your skill to get here.
Right.
But some people just naturally there.
Right. That's fair.
Some people just born with it. And that's what you love to see.
100%.
Those are the easy ones.
Yeah.
The hard ones and the work and what defines you is developing the ones that don't have that natural ability, but making them successful.
Yeah.
That's what feels good.
See, that's a different skill though. And I know you're busy, so I won't take too much more of your time.
Good.
But one of the things that I keep hearing you saying now that you're talking about your team is that ultimately you have changed. You've had it maybe you've had the skill set prior, but you were good at selling. That got you revenue, which gave you the opportunity to hire and then continuously reinvest. That's the scaling. That's a startup process. But at some point in time, your skill set had to shift to talent acquisition, training, management skills.
So I learned that over those 27 years in the other industry.
Got you.
So I sold meat door to door for decades, and I was at the height of that industry as well. And
it was door-to-door sales too.
Door-to-door sales.
I love it.
And I would start up an office, build a sales team, put a manager in place, move to the next location, start it up from scratch, build a sales team, go to the next location. And that's why every year and a half, 2 years, I would move to a different location, different state, different whatever. And over 27 years, I perfected that craft of hiring talent off the street, any Joe Blow, and then developing that talent as far as I can develop it, you know. And some people you can't develop. You know, and recognizing that as well, because you don't have time to waste.
Right.
But you know, a lot of people have skills they don't realize they have. You know, and you gotta be able to notice that, and then you know, fine tune that.
Yeah, nurture them into that. Yeah. I love what you're saying. Gary Vaynerchuk says, hire fast, fire faster, promote fastest.
That's it. You got to live by that.
Yeah, I love it.
You can't get wrapped up in feelings.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of good people that come and go. And, you know, but those kind of decisions when it comes to business, it have to be business decisions.
Yeah.
You know, and that gets cloudy sometimes. You know,
especially if you like the people.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're a people person and you love, you know, there's a lot of people that have great personalities, and they come in, you're like, man, he's a likable guy. He's got all this and that. But you're not good for us.
You're good for the next guy, just not here.
You got to go. Yeah.
With Charvel, you guys have naturally different like experiences and skill sets. How do you guys balance that now to where you guys are at a scaled company, but still relatively a new company?
Yeah.
How do you guys balance the workload? Are you guys still kind of saying like, hey, these are your skills, these are my skills, or you guys just kind of share the brunt all together and figure it out?
So we've always shared the brunt. Obviously, I had the more experience and the age, and Charvel was always great at respecting that and learning from me. It's no secret. He had learned, I mean, a tremendous amount of just business knowledge in general, but he had more natural skills than anybody I've met in my life. So he was that person that he was up here already, and just needed to be refined. And he was a student of the game, and in just a few short years, he's just as talented as I am or anybody.
Come on.
And so I give him all the credit. But we've always just had a natural act. It's never been your job duty, my job duty, you handle this, I handle that. We handle everything together. We talk about everything. Our minds always align on 99.9% of every issue, and when they don't, we're very good at giving and taking and saying, hey, it makes sense, let's do it your way.
I love it.
And that's been a gift. That's been a gift. That's that thing that, you know, you usually have two heads and they don't always get together. They butt. We've never had real disagreements. Never.
What is that? I know it's got to be respect, but I mean, this partnership does interest me because I mean, you had all the experience and the knowledge, but he had the youth and the energy, you know what I mean? And he has natural talent. And then
he connects with, and we have a younger office. He connects with the younger kids and the younger guys that are in our on that youth level. And then I'm everybody's dad.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I have the respect. Everybody listens to me, you know, and they're afraid of me, but in reality, he's the hard ass, not me. I'm the easy guy. But they naturally think that, oh shit, don't piss James off. No, don't piss Charvel off.
But there's a respect that you guys hold up for each other.
100%.
And that trust, I want to figure this out because you guys just don't argue.
No.
You guys, it would almost make sense if you guys like had worked together for 20 years and then came together, but the dynamic's so interesting because the years of difference. But what is it that you guys just click so well? I mean, is it just a natural thing? Can't put your finger on it?
God.
Come on, man. Okay.
You know, I can't. I mean, how else do you explain it? Because it happened literally instantly when we first met.
Wow.
We had that connection, and we've never lost it.
Wow.
Even from an employee standpoint, from working for somebody else, we clicked together. And we had our own company inside the company. You know? No matter what the manager said, we did our own thing. And we were the most successful doing it. So nobody said anything. But it was that connection from the first day we met, and it's that way today. It's never changed. I can't explain it. I mean, you can't write that book.
Wow, man.
You know? Same thing with my wife. My wife's 30 years old. I'm 57. You know, we're 27 years apart. It's the best relationship I've ever had. We get along.
Wow.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm young at heart.
Hey, man, God's grace. We'll chalk it up to God's grace, man. I love it, man. I got one more question for you, man. One more question for you. And I always say that, and I always have a second question.
That's
so forgive me ahead of
I'm
time.
good.
But when you look at everything that you and Charbel have done, and you put that into the same story from where you came from, the trials and tribulations you experienced, the success prior to this, before starting over, baking it all together, thinking about your kids, your wife, the roots here in Wilmington, the scaled business, what are you most proud of?
My family. Yeah. And just my life I have at home. That's, yeah.
Come on.
That's the greatest victory right there.
Come on, man.
All this is it's good, but nothing compares to your family.
Yeah.
And to be able to see them smiling faces when I go home and know I'm providing for them, and they have a life that I wish I would have had when I was younger, and they're going to have a future that I wish I would have had provided for me. Nothing beats that. Nothing tops that.
That's beautiful, man.
So
that is beautiful, man. I think it's so interesting because you and I both know, we all know, there's a lot of guys in business who are really good at what they do, but their at-home life is crap.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times my mentors have come to me and they told me, man, if you want to work with somebody, whether it's a partnership or whatever, see what their at-home life's like.
Right. That's right. You
And
got to have a balance.
That's the proof, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you can't take care of your home, the business is going to be divided as well.
Yes. And Charbel has a beautiful wife. He just had his first child a month ago.
Yeah.
And
that's why he's here. We didn't leave him out on purpose. That's why he's not here.
But he, his family's number one to him too. He's close with he's got 3 brothers and his mother and father. They're all very tight knit family.
Yeah.
And I envied that in the beginning stages, in the beginning days. I admired him for that and his family ties, and I desired that. And kind of, so he taught me something too.
Wow, man. Yeah. This is incredible, man. I've been nothing but impressed just hearing more and more about you guys' relationship, your partnership, and what you've built, man. Do you mind if I pray for you?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Yeah. Lord, today is the day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I just want to thank you for the man that James is, Lord, and how much you've blessed him, Lord, and that he to this day is humble enough to say that you did this, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, for what you're doing in his home, in his business, and the fruit of his diligence is very evident, Lord. So I just pray a blessing over Choufani and Bailey, Lord. I pray this over James and Charbel, Lord, and that their families would be blessed, Lord, through this business, but before this business. Thank you, Lord, that they have order, that they put their families first, and that they respect each other in this business, Lord. I just pray to continue to bless the relationship between these partners right now, because they're blessing people more than they probably recognize. The people who they're feeding, they're putting food on their tables, but also the people that they're serving diligently. We pray all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
My man. Killed it, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.